Mark, how has brands or CMOs focus on ROI in today's time, especially the times that we live in with economic concerns?
Yeah.
How has that focus changed the way in which you approach strategy? And what is your view on, let's say, short-term ticket to long-term impact?
I think you need to play with both. I think long-term investment in brand there are so many good papers written about the power of long-term brand investment, but long-term brand investment needs tactical activation. So you need to be able to give the audiences that you're priming the ways and means to access your products and services as and when they require them, right? So long-term and short-term operate in the same sphere, in the same strategy. I think that's probably the most important thing to think about. I think when we talk about CMOs, what they're looking for is both effectiveness and efficiency now. So we're trying to help them understand what are and where are the correlations and the attribution from their activities that actually perform down into an ROI. And those can be both causal, as in attribution, or correlative. So they could actually be, we assume that this is happening because of these specific factors or this data that we've unlocked. Those are key component parts. CMOs are also really trying to understand how to drive greater efficiency and effectiveness through the choices around new channels, and new activities, and new platforms. How do we test and learn on behalf? How do we move and innovate on behalf of our CMOs? And that again becomes a really critical part of the journey and job that we do for them. They really need to understand how do they build that choice architecture for their brand owners, and how do we really start to think about what are the right places to play. That becomes more and more important the more choice you have. Okay? They can't be everywhere. They have a limited budget, so we really need to think and pick the right things for them.
In this era of optimization, Mark, how do you build relevance?
So relevance is built through timeliness, through appropriateness, through an appropriate action and appropriate moment. Personalization, we've become obsessed with personalization, but relevance is really how do I find that moment to be truthful and authentic in front of an audience at that particular moment in time. And it's a combination of those aspects that make you a relevant brand or a relevant product. Some of these things can be culturally relevant as well. One of the things from our study that I think is very useful here is that culture seems to be driving brand engagement way faster today than it ever has. So the ways that brands sort of reflect what's going on in culture is transmitting now into expectations from audiences. So is this brand reflective of the diversity of its audience? Is it reflecting equality in the most appropriate way? Does it allow me to express myself, in who I am, in my truthful self? Does it have a position that helps me move my life forward in a way that is meaningful to me? Does it give me purpose? These are really current trends in culture that are driving society, and we're seeing those being adopted by brands and actually driving relevancy. Okay, so a brand can both become really relevant really quickly by tapping into what's going on in culture, but can also fall out of relevance as well by missing those opportunities. So when we talk about relevancy through a sense of personalization, sometimes we can miss the need for it to be culturally relevant and contemporaneous in terms of what is happening in the wider world or the society or culture that you're operating in. And that culture can be regional, it can be global. So you have to think when we're helping our clients and our CMOs, what are the right cultural trends, what are the right cultural themes to tap into that are appropriate for its audience and its brand to occupy.